Hello there. Thank you for dropping by again. In this video, we're going to create some simple fabric shaders in Daz Studio to be used on the clothing model we created earlier. We will be also looking at how we can add mix and match possibilities to the shaders. Let's get to it right away. We will be using two items from my Ko-fi page in this video. I'll include the link in the video description. One of them will be the cloth sample prop. You may also use this prop to render sample images for your own shader creations. Our second item will be the fabric maps collection, which we will use to create shaders for this video. Although they are both organized and packed into the Daz Studio file structure, you may still be able to extract the JPEGs to use them for other software. With the files installed in your Daz Studio library, under Shader Presets, you will find a new folder named RxQ Shaders, where the cloth sample prop is located. Load the prop into the scene and zoom in on it. Turn on the array preview so we can see how the shader looks while we're working on it. Open the Surface tab and select the surface properties. Let's start by loading the diffuse map. The Fabric Map Collection folder will be located in the Runtime Textures RxQ folder. We will load in the RxQ Fabric 1 diffuse map. If we were to set the base color to white, the reflection on the surface would make it difficult to see the texture details. For that reason, we will set the base color to a light gray. We will also use the same diffuse map for the gloss color. At the same time, we will change the glossy color to a dark gray since the fabric shader we want to create will not be that glossy. We will then increase the glossy roughness value to a high value. Next, we will load in the bump map. Lastly, we will bring in the normal map. As you can see, we have added some nice texture detail to the surface. We will now save this as a shader preset. To save it under the same folder, we can simply click on the plus icon and select Shader Preset. Let's name this RxD Fabric 1 and click Save. We won't save everything the way it is in the preset options. We will remove the base color value option, which in this case is the value for light gray. But we will still want to save the image information, which in this case is the diffuse map that we are using. In later parts of the video, we will show you how saving it in this way can allow it to be a flexible mix and match shader. I'd like to share with you how I create the thumbnails for my presets before we continue. Instead of rendering out the images to replace the thumbnails, I would use the Save Last Draw function. And this is how I do it. The first thing I will do is change the viewport to a multi-view, which will give us a smaller preview size. Make sure the active viewport is the one with the array preview activated, which you can tell with its highlighted window. I will then select the Save Last Draw command under the File menu. This will open up the folder location where we did our last save function, which in this case is the location where the shader preset was saved. Simply locate the PNG file of the thumbnail we want to replace and click Save. We will need to refresh the folder so that we can see the new thumbnail. And this is the way I usually create my thumbnails. Let's switch back to the single view and continue creating our shaders. We will now create a new shader by loading in the next set of maps. Instead of scrolling through the entire list, we can simply click on the Currently Used tab. This will filter the list and show only the properties or options which changes have been made. We will replace the maps now. Please note that if we still have the Currently Selected tab selected, we will not be able to save this shader. Let's see what will happen if we try to save. For that to work, we need to switch back to the surface with the shader shading we wanted to save. Do not forget to remove the base color value from the saving options. I will speed up the video while continuing to save the shaders using the rest of the remaining maps. Now that we are done with all the maps, we are going to create some base color only shaders. We will first remove all existing maps. Let's create the first with a dark red color. We will then save the preset. We will give it a name color dark red. We will start off by unchecking all options this time. Only select and save the base color value. We will save a few more colors using the same method. With the color shaders saved, let's try them out on our clothing top. Delete the cloth prop and load the clothing top into the scene. Maybe we can add a pose to the clothing top. Let's try out our fabric shaders on the top of the clothing. We will apply the same fabric shader to all the surfaces. We will load the Fabric 1 shader. Cool. Our clothing top surfaces are having some visible texture detail applied to them now. I will now show you why we saved our shader as we did, and what the color-only shaders are for. We will select the main surfaces of the top and apply the blue color preset to them. The color will only change the color of the surface, as that is the only preset value it carries. Therefore, the fabric detail map's information will remain the same. We will now load another color for the trim surfaces. We can create as many color-only shaders as we like as a mix and match shader library, because by saving the color information separately, we can combine the surface detail maps with any color of our choice. Let's apply the red to the surfaces now. With the colors remaining unchanged, I can apply another fabric detail shader to the surfaces. We will do a quick render so that we can see the difference. This is the color red and fabric detail 4. And let's do one with the color red and fabric detail 1. Hopefully, you will be able to see the difference in the details on screen. Well, we have come to the end of our video once again. Please support me by giving this video a like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.